Tonight, more than 1,600 attendees, including senior royals, community heroes and celebrity performers, gathered inside the candlelit splendour of Westminster Abbey for the Princess of Wales's 5th annual Together at Christmas carol service. Catherine arrived ahead of her family, greeting guests with her familiar poise and warmth before stepping back outside to welcome Prince William and their 3 children. As the Waleses made their way through the grand entrance, dressed in coordinated navy and black, one small figure drew particular attention: Prince Louis. Now 6 years old, Louis stepped forward with a confidence that felt noticeably more mature than in previous years, gone with the cheeky waves and playful distractions that once made him the nation's favourite scene-stealer. Tonight he walked beside his mother, with his hand tucked neatly into his coat pocket, glancing around curiously, but behaving with an attentiveness that seemed to announce a new chapter. The little boy who once charmed the world with funny faces on palace balconies now looked like a young prince growing steadily into his role, still warm and expressive, but increasingly thoughtful. For Catherine, this moment carried deep meaning. The Wales children have always enjoyed a strong and loving connection to the Middleton side of the family, and this year's service held a particularly tender layer for Louis. Ever since last Christmas, when he placed a handwritten note on the Abbey's kindness tree, the bond between Louis and his grandparents, Carol and Michael Middleton, has been quietly celebrated by royal watchers. His message, "Thank you to Granny and Grandpa because they have played games with me," had melted hearts worldwide. It was a simple sentence, written in uneven, childlike handwriting, but it revealed a relationship filled with comfort, laughter, and time spent in the ordinary joys of childhood. This Christmas, Louis had prepared something even more emotional. Just before leaving for the service, he wrote a new letter to his grandparents, carefully folding the paper into his coat pocket. With a maturity beyond his years, he chose his own words, telling them how much their presence, especially this year, meant to him. The Middletons have been a constant, reassuring force during a period of immense change for the Wales family, supporting Catherine discreetly and steadfastly through moments of uncertainty. Louis, sensitive by nature and deeply observant, felt their support as clearly as any adult. After greeting the Dean of Westminster, Dr. David Hoy, and joining his siblings inside the Abbey, Louis waited for a quiet moment before presenting the letter. Carol's eyes softened as she unfolded it, reading her grandson's earnest gratitude, how he loved their sleepovers in Bucklebury, how he cherished their card games at Anne Hall, and how he felt happiest when the whole family was together. Michael placed a gentle hand on Louis' shoulder, clearly moved. It was a moment unbroadcast, unchoreographed, seen only by a few nearby, but one that shaped the emotional heart of the evening. Despite being the youngest, Louis has always been deeply connected to the rhythms of his family. Earlier this year, he sat on William's lap during a quiet afternoon at Anne Hall, while Catherine, Carol and George played cards nearby. Scenes like these, simple, private, tender, form the foundation of the Wales family's stability, especially during a year marked by public scrutiny and personal challenges. The Middletons have been present through it all, appearing in the video Catherine released in September, joining William at Royal Ascot, and standing close during moments that mattered. Inside the Abbey, surrounded by fir trees, glowing lanterns and the warm hum of carols, Louis joined his family in lighting candles. He stood between George and Charlotte, watching carefully, mimicking their movements, proud to be part of the tradition. When singers filled the ancient walls with harmonies, he leaned toward Charlotte, whispering excitedly, no doubt related to the surprise he had been planning for her for weeks. Paloma Faith later laughed with Catherine about it. Louis had somehow kept a ballet-themed surprise hidden from Charlotte, even though he nearly revealed it on Christmas morning. The Waleses will spend Christmas this year blending royal tradition with intimate family time. They will join the King for the traditional walk to church on December 25, but plan to host a smaller, more personal Christmas celebration at Anmer Hall, where laughter, card games and stories shared by the fire remain cherished rituals. And at the heart of those rituals are the grandparents who helped raise not only Catherine into the woman she is today, but who now help nurture the future heirs to the crown. Carol and Michael Middleton have never sought attention, yet their quiet devotion shapes the steady, loving world in which George, Charlotte, and especially little Louis continue to grow. Tonight, Louis's letter was more than a note. It was a sign of growing awareness, gratitude, and emotional maturity. A small boy becoming a young prince, shaped not only by royal duty, but by the love of the family who has stood by his mother, and by him every step of the way.